What choice does he have? He's got to retain some order. He's the general manager.
Do you have a question for Rampage?
Mr. Brown, would you please like to leave my program?
Rampage, show him how you leave.
This is not what we're about. Kill! Don't encourage a man to kill. Security. Oh my God! Taking out the security for. Security man just doing his job, and now he's attacking referees.
Oh my God! They're flying everywhere. See ya.
Rampage.
Rampage! Piledriver!
No, don't give him a pile driver.
Not
He's
just a security guard.
Don't give him a pile driver.
He's not a trained wrestler.
Don't a pile driver.
His neck went the wrong way.
It was unnecessary. It's not a trained wrestler.
Oh, Pacitti signalling.
What do you expect?
Lawsuit incoming for WCPW. What are a couple of bin men doing here?
A man just got pile driven in the middle of the ring. He's not a trained wrestler. He's not an athlete. He's a security guard. And he's trying to do his job.
Didn't do it very well, did he?
You ask Rampage to leave. He will do that to you. He will do that to each and every one of you.
This is out of control.
I wonder what happens when you ask Rampage if he's Rusev's brother. They do look alike, though, don't they?
And what now? What now? We've seen enough. Just leave, Blompier, and take Rampage with you.
I've been gone for weeks because you blindsided me to win this. But it seems you got a new belt in town, so that makes this one a bit redundant.
There's no need for this. There's no need for the pile driver.
Oh, he's gutted. Look at his face.
This is uncalled for. And you know it. You may laugh, but you know it too. You know this is needless.
It's a cardboard box that an office chair came in, for God's sake.
But it means something to people. It may not mean anything to you, but it does. Well, this is not how we expected the first show to end. We got a man down in the ring. The belt's been torn up.
World, look into my eyes. When you see me on a show, when you see these fans, you know you've got the best in the damn world.
This is the Wrestling Matters podcast where we stand up for professional wrestling.
Here we fucking go!
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
Professional wrestling, this is it. This is us standing up.
Yes, 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 yes!
That's 13-14! Make it till death!
Dina, I am the best in the world.
Cause that's the bottom line!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a second installment of my WCPW loaded review series that I've just started doing. I started it last week, and this is episode 2, guys. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode. Hope you enjoyed episode 2. A little delay on it this time, but hey, it was still worth a watch. Thoroughly enjoyed WCPW at the moment. I'm loving their work. I'm loving everything that they do. Some great matches on this week, and yeah, Jennifer Louise looking awesome, and Stevie Ann. I'd take Jennifer over Stevie any day of the week. He does a good job anyway. And WCPW, if you haven't seen these guys, check out What Culture Wrestling on YouTube. You can catch up with them. It won't be the full stream. It'll be in parts. It is great stuff as well. And also, you probably heard the audio at the beginning of the main point of what happened last week as well. Nothing away on that one. I've just proven a point, setting things up for this episode. And today's episode 2, like I say, it was supposed to be on at 10 o'clock UK time, 5 o'clock Eastern time, but little delay on it. Half an hour delay. What for? I don't know. And quite frankly, I don't care. But it was still a good watch. Adam Pacitti kicks off and addresses what happened last week. And what happened last week was in that audio at the beginning of this podcast, which saw a security guard get a broken neck by a pile driver. Adam bans the pile driver. When have I heard that before? before, and ripping up the cardboard What Culture Pro Wrestling heavyweight title, which we don't need now anyway, because in a couple of weeks there'll be a new WCPW heavyweight title involving Rampage and Big Damo. More on that later. Match-wise, so the debut of a guy who got in the face of Joe Coffey last week, Primate, and he went up against Drake, who's a local guy, a local professional, great wrestler from Newcastle, rather. But Drake got absolutely destroyed in this match. It was one-sided. Hey, it was basically Suplex City Primate style. Because I swear to God, Primate just suplexed him, bounced him about. Drake tried to quicken the pace, didn't do it, and Primate spears the living hell out of him. Just flattens him and gets the victory. And Drake was not happy about it at all, and gets a pitch by James R. Kennedy after the match for his troubles in an interview. My guy that I've been associated with before. Well, I've been associated with before. I've come across him before. I've come across the guy. Nice guy in general, but in his character, he's a jerk, and he's proven that here. And that's Prince Ameen. Still looking and still on the hunt for a slave. Goals for Gabriel Kidd, and however, Gabriel Kidd agreed to team up with him, but Ameen gets put in his place. Whatever. Don't know how you can team up with somebody after they just basically insulted you. I wouldn't. But anyway, moving swiftly on. Hendry from last week gets interrupted by Joseph O'Connor's. Well, Hendry was upset that he lost to Damo, and O'Connor's was upset that he lost. Well, actually, he won his triple threat match and basically got attacked by James R. Kennedy's tag team. So Hendry and O'Connor's form a tag team, and they went up against Gabriel Kidd, Prince Ameen, in the next match, and they were backstage talking about it with the gorgeous Jennifer Louise, and then all of that leads into this match. Now, basically some great wrestling by both teams, and I guess Gabriel Kidd and Prince Ameen is going to be a one-time thing only. Yeah. Hendry and Connors will probably be a one-time thing, because there was great wrestling in the match by Connors, Hendry, and Kidd, because Kidd basically took on both of them by himself, quite frankly. And Connors hits his DDT, and Hendry comes rushing in and gets the cover and steals the win. Even though the team won, but he still stole the pinfall, which was very strange to see. And then Prince Ameen just disrespects Kidd after the match by slapping him in the face. Yeah, so I guess the search for the slave continues. Noam Dar was backstage with Jen talking about his upcoming main event match with Rampage Brown, and Kirby was on the hunt looking for Ligero after what happened last week. He didn't get Ligero. Speaking of Ligero, he went one-on-one with Jay Lethal. That's right, you heard me correct, I didn't stutter. Jay Lethal, making his WCPW debut, the Ring of Honor World Champion. And I don't know about you, but for the time they had during this was a classic. Absolute classic. And I'll say that right now, this match stole the show, period. Great stuff, back and forth match. You could basically say that this match was a Ring of Honor style match, in my opinion. Some great stuff, catch-as-catch-can wrestling, and it was just fun to watch. That was until Martin Kirby spoils it at the end and kicks Lethal and causes what I thought was a DQ at first, and Lethal getting the victory, but I did corrected, and it ended up being a no contest, which I ended up agreeing with the crowd, unfortunately, because it was bullshit. But I don't think we've seen the last of them two wrestling, and they will wrestle again, I hope, because I wouldn't mind seeing it this time without Martin Kirby. But Lethal showing his class and saying that Ligero deserves another title shot, and he brought the best out of Lethal, and when people bring the best out of Lethal, Lethal gets fired up and he wants him to go again. So will we see that match? I don't know. I swear at one point Lethal is supposed to defend the Ring of Honor World title against Noam Dar, but hey, either way, up until Martin Kirby's bullshit, that was a great match. Phenomenal match, and if that was a great match, if they have another one, I can't wait to see how that turns out. Let me tell you. Righty then, to what turned out to be the main event of the evening, which saw Rampage Brown one-on-one with Noam Dar. I believe if Noam ended up beating him, he would have ended up taking Rampage's spot, which I'll say this right now, did not happen. Adam Blompier outside. To be honest with you, I actually like Adam Blompier, to be honest. I wouldn't mind getting him on the show, quite frankly, on my podcast, but that's for another issue for another day. He's just great, man, and in my opinion, he's the best out of the What Culture bunch. That's just my opinion. Nothing against Pacitti, the general manager, or anybody else. I like Pacitti too. And I like the other ones except King Ross. Even though King Ross is King Ross, and he does it well. I'm just not a big fan of that guy, to be honest with you. Simon is Simon, the commentator. He's a commentator. and it's only his second show, so hopefully he can pick it up. I think last week, to be honest with you, was the first time he ever commentated in his life, quite frankly. But anyway, King Ross is a heel commentator at best. That's what he is. And I've got no issues with it. I've got no issues with the commentating. I was more focused on the wrestling. Like Rampage Brown totally dominating. Noam Dar did show some great wrestling. Some good stuff. Rampage just totally dominated. And then Adam wanted Rampage to hit the Piledriver. But Noam Dar did not do it. Well, Rampage didn't get onto it because Noam Dar saw it coming, saw what was coming. But then Adam demanded he'd hit it, but didn't do it for some reason. He was reluctant to do it. Yes, he was banned, but he was reluctant to do it. And then it got to the point where Rampage just hit a powerbomb and got the victory. And then after the match, Blumpier was not very happy with Rampage for not listening to his orders. And then Big Damo comes out with Jack the Jobber. Jack the Jobber chases Adam around the ringside. And Noam Dar's in the corner, laid out. And Big Damo and Rampage Brown give a nice little preview of what's going to happen when them two eventually meet for the WCPW title. Then the general manager comes on after the stream and announces a WCPW women's division. I just hope it is a great division and one well booked, unlike some others. Yes, I'm looking at you, TNA. All in all, 7 out of 10 for the rating. I loved it. Like I say, a few questionable things, but like I said on Twitter to them, I gave them some feedback on Twitter and saying that it was great. Questionable stuff, but I didn't care. I enjoyed it. I'm not complaining. And you know, like I say, it can only grow from here. It can only grow, you know, people giving it a chance. I found it funny on the stream when I watched it on the stream that 5 people disliked it and the stream wasn't even playing. How can you dislike something if it's not on, you know? Oh, good God. Anyway, all in all, that is the end of this podcast, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Episode 2 of my WCPW review. There'll be one again sometime next week. Check it out. I haven't set really a date for these or when they're going to be on, quite frankly. I just like to do them after the show and get them up and get them out the way. Hope you guys enjoyed the altered angle episode of my podcast and the little extra that I put up as well. There was a little something extra on them ripping TNA. I'll put both of them episodes in the link below. Also, you can check out the podcast on Spreaker.com. Yes, not speaker, Spreaker.com. That is a free account that I've got. So when I run out of storage, I will take the episodes down just to fulfill space and everything. And also, it's back on Mixcloud for the time being. But if you want to listen to all these episodes of the podcast that I do, get yourself over to SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/wrestling_matters_podcast. Follow me on there if you're on there, and I will follow back. And also, you can download them for free as well, which I'm pretty sure you can do on the other two. But if you want to listen to all the podcasts, download them for free. Also, check out www.youtube.com/AJW Wrestling Matters, where you can hear this episode as well as the other episodes on YouTube. If you're a scumbag troll, don't bother coming on. But if you respect and like wrestling and are passionate about it like I am, then get yourself on and subscribe, because there's plenty more where this came from. My name is Anthony Walker. Thanks for listening, guys. Peace out.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Professional wrestling! This is it! This is us standing up!
Yes! 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 Yes!
That's 13-14!
Dina, I am the best in the world.
'Cause that's the bottom line. 'Cause Stone Cold Simpson.